This is how we play.
Okay, so first Cemeteer Arcane.
Yeah. You can only take first Cemetery. You're
Yeah.
not allowed to take anything higher. That would be silly.
Yeah, you're way more powerful than you should be to begin with.
How does my character strangely end up being OP, even though I don't really try?
That's just how this system works, bro.
Yeah, the spells in this system are bonkers powerful, but you don't get very many and you can't use them very often. But they're just outrageous. Sleep,
Grief.
True Strike, Vampiric Touch, Winnowing Wash. Makes them sleepy. This wine is making me sleepy.
I do min-max my characters, but to whatever weird idea I have for them,
Yeah.
my wizard is built to never roll to attack.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody else has to roll a save. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
I'm not pulling out my dice.
Because first edition Pathfinder is still built around, Dex is used by path to hit things. And I hate the idea of the fact that with so I want a wizard that doesn't Dex.
Is there a first Cemeteer spell that...
Not for Arcane.
That what?
Does healing.
No.
I mean, there's the Vampiric Touch.
Yes, there's the Vampiric Touch.
Would
It's a good
my
spell.
plus advantage apply to the healing?
No, that's the skill. That's the skill heal.
Okay. Well, I think I'll take Vampiric Touch
Fantastic.
for this combat spell.
Your big super fighter appreciates that.
Well, I can't heal you.
You know what? I'm still gonna appreciate it.
It only applies to my character.
Well, see, that means he has to defend you.
Yeah.
True. And then I'll take Alter Self.
You're only allowed one.
Yeah, the others are
Alter
rituals.
Self is ritual.
Oh, okay.
So it is, yeah.
You're right. You are... Alter Self is a ritual.
So, I'm looking at the Dragonborn in the Lampedition. You have some pictures up there, and I have two questions.
Wait, how do you have pictures?
I have pictures.
How?
They're there.
On the what's it? Yeah, there's images at the.
Yeah.
Well, how do you have access to the what's it that has images? Because the one that's on the DM's Guild had to have no images on it because they're... frankly speaking, I ripped them off. I couldn't put them on the DM's Guild. So it surprises me that you have them because you have to have a...
It's the one that you have linked in the Discord.
It is?
I clicked on the one that's linked in Roll20's images.
This is all my fault, Jafar. Yeah, no, I'm in trouble.
Are we looking at the incorrect user guide?
No, this one's actually probably slightly more up to date because I haven't updated the DM's Guild one yet. But it does surprise. I basically, this is copyright infringement. I mean, the book's copyright infringement anyway because 4th edition was not open source like 3rd was. But the images are even worse. Anyway, what was your question about the images?
I saw some. So I have two questions. One, what color would you say is the male Dragonborn there?
Well, that's at a guess. He's like bronze.
Not bronze, because he's using fire.
Ah,
I guess he could be a sorcerer.
exactly.
So,
Yes, because he's a dragon blood sorcerer. That's why.
Yeah. My second question is, why does the female have titties?
They give live. I know it's weird. They give birth to live young. Wait, because there were eggs involved at some point. Is eggs part of their mythology?
So the way you have it, Lampe, is that there are multiple versions. And
I mean,
some
there are.
Dragonborn lay eggs, and others give birth, and so like the shifting Dragonborn do in fact give life.
Yeah, because they were polymorphed into humanoids when they did it. So yeah, a shifting Dragonborn would have boobies, but a devotee Dragonborn might not have boobies. In fact, they might not even have nipples.
What a weird fucking thing to give.
I mean, it's not my fault. Wizards of the Coast had 3 different versions of the Dragonborn, and I didn't want to cut any of them out. I don't want to make anybody feel left out, so if they don't want boobies, they don't have boobies.
I go insane into the, like, biology.
The boobs
The
issues.
problem with Dragonborn is that a wizard did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Owlbears are like that, too. Owlbears? What the fuck? Owlbears. A wizard did it. Oh, okay. Fucking... There's always some asshole with more power than common sense out there making owlbears and dragons with titties.
Speaking of which, Lampay, I have some ideas that I need to throw.
Oh, no. I'm already mad.
How do I search the psionic?
Scion. Not that that matters, because you won't have anything out of that yet. Because you don't have a level.
But
You only have your
could
background.
theoretically take a psionic spell, but I think they're all con-based currently.
Yeah, you don't want that because your constitution's not high enough.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying you have to go with arcane.
But you were thinking of maybe taking a psionic ritual?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Fair.
I just want to see what I have of it.
They're like bonkers. They're like really, really weird. Everything about psionics is, well, different. The reason why psionics is as popular as it is where it is because people get bored with mages. And they're like, what if I could do something real weird? And thus psionics.
No, I think I.
Okay. Detect minds. That could be useful.
That sounds way OP.
Ritual requires constant concentration, but only
Okay.
one.
Yeah, I found it.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the psionic stuff is faster.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 minute instead of 10. It's still a minute. You still couldn't do it in combat. I mean, you could, but holy Jesus. Christ above, deliver us from waiting for this asshole to take a whole minute to cast a spell in combat.
And what I was reading the thing, and it says 3 skills for the rogue. What is
For the rogue?
for the ranger?
You do not have a level yet.
Yeah, you don't get a level quite yet, so
We're level
we'll
0.
deal with that after you roleplayed a little bit.
You do have a background, though.
Okay.
And 11 HP. You have 11 hit points, by the way.
You've already calculated his hit points?
Hey, it is your con score plus your con buyer. They all have 11s. I have calculated all of their HP. They're all 11.
I'll take psychic empathy.
I have taught you well. You're closer to ready than I thought. Alright. These are the backgrounds. Each has one of these. For our new friend here, who's looking for ranger, tribesman might be the most sensible. You might pick something that's not the same, but is similar, because you and Codeman's characters know each other. I might recommend one of you take tribesman and one of you take scout, and decide which of you takes which.
Well, we don't necessarily need to know each other already. I was just saying we could develop a friendship.
True enough.
I'm kind of eyeballing competitor because the idea of lifting more things sounds a little fun, but...
I assumed you would take scholar, so that you would have books you couldn't read, an education despite not being able to read, and extra languages you can't read in.
Perfect. Yeah. I am really actually loving the idea of actually being a book collector because I love the way they feel and smell.
I love the sound they make when I open and close them.
Yes. No, I really love, like, I have, like, my books, and I collect them, and I just, like, you know, I like, smell the pages, like, books smell nice, they're very neat. I don't
Can you
care what the
imagine
word
having
means.
a ridiculously rare book that so many people are looking for, but
But
you
it
can't
smells the
even tell
nicest,
them
I'm
who
not
has
giving it away.
Well, you wouldn't know. You'd have no idea. You just have some book.
I found this book in a dungeon. Do you know what this book is? Mine.
Oh my!
Yeah.
By all the gods, it's the second half of the Cardian Tome. Whatever it is, it smells great.
Yeah.
And
smells
it's mine,
ancient.
and it's not for sale. I will eat you.
Wars are being fought over the possibility of finding that book right now. Well, I guess I better put it back in my bag then.
Well, I don't think I'm that selfish. If that's brought up, but...
Well, you're not fighting a war. All right.
So for my there's the +1 train, and I just have plus.
And you have an additional trained skill.
1 second, guys. I need to go move my car.
I forget how the train works.
Training is a +5 bonus. You note that you have it by putting a 5 in the training column of the skill in question.
Okay, and that we have 3 ready.
You have what already?
We have 3 skills we already.
No. The number of skills that you are trained in is decided by your class. You do not yet have a class.
Oh, okay.
So you have
Right,
+1 trained skill as a human and education. So you start with 2.
I also have +2 to an ability score of my choice, and I one of my ability scores.
Correct.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, and 18. Well, I can't fault you. I've definitely done it.
Ability modifiers 18 plus.
So I need to choose a background.
Yes, the backgrounds should be on your screen now. Is that not the case? Do you have the backgrounds handout on your screen at this point? On Roll20.
Yes, it just popped up.
Yeah, I do.
Excellent. And for you, I was suggesting Tribesman or Scout. But you might want Farm Folk.
+2 to defense.
Yeah, probably farm folk.
So you're good with animals, and you are hardy.
What is group endurance?
It means that when there's a roll to figure out how well the group does, usually the people that have the 2 best scores participate, but instead you just roll with advantage. Rules is written, I think it gives you a +1 on top of that too. Should be under group rules. No, because I didn't actually write that rule.
I think I like. I don't know exactly what that means. I like gives.
Competitor?
Yeah.
Basically, it means that you played a sport.
Ah, okay.
That's the idea anyway, but it might be a little different for somebody from a tribal society. Like a competitive runner or something like that. What is that sound? Oh my god, it's the soundtrack. There's supposed to be swords. I thought that was somebody's blinds blowing in the wind.
There's someone farted.
I was actually in a competitive. Couldn't read. He's good at it.
Competitive what?
Book club.
A competitive book club. But you could lift more books than anyone else. They were
That's what I
halflings.
thought. Like everyone was like, it was just a regular. Thought it was a competition. I kept.
We lost somebody.
Did we?
I'll refresh, but I think so.
I am back.
Hello.
Earl's coming back to the boat, which, you know, boats. Hard to maneuver around with cars.
Well, boats are hard to maneuver anyway. Boats are hard to maneuver in the water, let alone on land.
Indeed.
Oh, damn.
So where are we?
Backgrounds.
Yeah, we're still kind of there. I'm currently selecting my second trained skill, just my background.
You either want to make up for something that you have a shortfall in, like endurance,
Or specialized. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I already put +5 in Arcana,
Which was wise.
but I have +9. Yeah.
That makes sense with your monastic background. Just saying.
So you think I should do endurance?
Endurance is necessary for concentration checks for casting spells if you are interrupted by taking damage. Or while sustaining.
Alright. Alright, I'll do that.
Why, camera?
And I still have my class to choose. God damn.
Yeah,
You
but you
do
don't
not-
choose that yet.
You do not have a class. Your characters are still apprentices. They are still in their backgrounds.
Yeah.
You guys roleplay for an hour and then you get a level.
Yeah, basically. That's the idea anyway. It very rarely works out like that. Oh. Give me more of these digesting things pills.
Well, last time we played for 5 minutes and got a level. We didn't even have to leave town.
Well, there was somebody else that was streaming, and I didn't want to make problems.
I remember, I mean, my half orc, that was like 2 minutes, and then we were just done for the night.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. We all went and built an opera house.
Yeah. So I think my character is done, except for class. So we can focus on Gunner and Codeman.
Alright, speaking of which, Gunner, which should be visible on screen, you can
I'll go
see
get another drink.
your character sheet here, and I'm going to paste right here under race, category, archetype, and background, your background here. Farm folk. So you have hardy folk and skill training with animals. We'll scroll up here to animals. And then in training put a 5, because you start with that. Did you pick between wisdom and constitution for your country halfling ability score increase? I would imagine not. Okay, Gunner, here's the dish. So, your character, being a halfling, speaks the halfling language, right? You can see that it corresponds here. You are small size category, so up here in size, we'll punch in small, so that people know what spaces you can move through and how much space you take up, how heavy you are, etc. You have the bold feature, which is now down here where features are, so you can see what it does. In fact, because it says +5 saves against fear, probably want to go up here, see where you can see this stuff here, into save, and put +5 v fear. Except you'll want to spell fear like you're not an idiot, which is not what I did. Second chance, which is here. It's in red, which means you can do it once per encounter. Right? So like every time you're in a fight you can do this, but you have to rest between fights to do it again. You following me?
Gunner?
Did I lose Gunner at some point?
Gunner, are you still...
We cannot hear you. Damn. Did they say they'd be right back and we didn't hear them?
Possibly.
I'm back. What did I miss?
That's a
We
highlight
were
for
talking
sure.
to you.
That is a Twitch highlight. Anyway, so I have your character information as can be seen on stream set up. Do I not have capture cursor on? I've been trying to use the cursor all this time. I do not have capture cursor on. None of this matters. I'll just highlight it. So all of this stuff is set up in here for the way that your character is, and I was just going through how you go line by line through all this stuff in order to place it on the character sheet, right? So like second chance corresponds here to this ability. Then home cooking to this ability. Folk music to this ability. For your country halfling, this is a +2 to 2 of the skills. So you'd scroll up and find the corresponding skill for perform and heal. In race. That's going to be, this is a perform skill.
Oh yeah, that's why Pippi's a thing.
And the other one is heal. Sheree has a character built around this concept.
Yeah.
Also dogs, big floofy dogs.
Saint Bernards. And they're cute.
You have a +2 to your dexterity as a racial mod, so you'd go up here and punch that in to your dex score.
They have like halfling whiskey on their collars.
Yes, it's hilarious and adorable. These numbers are arbitrarily generated based on a formula that goes back to the 70s. It's traditional, but also silly, so I don't blame anybody for not knowing it. But 14 is a 2, 12 is a 1, 10 is nothing, 13 is a 1, 11 is nothing, 12 is 1. It's basically 10. You subtract 10, divide the number in half, and that's the amount. And if it's less than 10, of course, it's negative. For example, scrolling up here, Raz dexterity.
I find it entertaining. You have so many complaints about the D&D system, and you went through the effort.
I know, yeah, no.
To start from scratch.
People could be forgiven for thinking I hate Dungeons and Dragons. Also, video games, humanity in general, and everything else, which is basically correct. But also, the only thing that I tolerate that's fun in the universe is this fucking game. So here we go. And also being inebriated, which is obvious from our current circumstances.
Lampedition is an interesting individual because he can hate and love something simultaneously.
Anybody that's not an only child has experienced that. Anybody who has siblings has loved and hated them at the same time at some point.
I agree.
Yeah, very felt.
7, depending on how you calculate it.
Yeah.
Actually, anywhere between 30 and 30, depending on how you calculate it.
I've experienced hate and appreciation.
Yeah, there's too many Wilcox. You people breed too much.
Oh, most of those 30 are not Wilcox.
That's worse. Besides, I meant like extended Wilcox clan thing.
Yeah, we just vaguely adopted them.
Yeah, which you also do too much. Miriam's characters cannot stop adopting people. For more information on that, see our Monday stream. All right, where are we at here? Who's still working on their backgrounds? Gunner needs more cowbell. Folk music.
Everybody needs more cowbell.
Yeah, wisdom and constitution. Okay, so...
Hey, Gunner, is your instrument of choice a cowbell? For your folk music?
I was thinking something of a lute or a lyre.
Very appropriate. Although huge for a halfling. I like the idea of a halfling. I like the idea of a halfling that plays a full-on fucking lute, like it's an upright bass or a cello. They're like
a didgeridoo.
A didgeridoo!
A small...
A halfling with a didgeridoo.
I like that.
Alright. Halfling with a didgeridoo. Are you taking your +2 in wisdom or constitution? I would suggest constitution, but there's plenty of reasons to take wisdom as well. Which one would you prefer?
Can I split it? Can I, actually, let me look at my...
You know, normally that's not allowed. But a +1 to each instead of a +2 to 1. Since you're making a ranger later. Actually, I'm gonna veto this right now in a very special way. We're gonna call you a ranger in parentheses, because as of this moment, you are not a ranger because you do not have a class.
Hey, Lampay, I just realized something.
What? What do you want?
Didgeridoos are an Australian,
Yes, and this is Naustria.
which
Way ahead of you.
implies that the local, because one of us is supposed to be local.
Yes. Is
Aboriginals.
Tiberius Octavius Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
I don't know why his name is Athenan, but I'll go with it.
It's supposed to be Latin, but alright, we'll...
Yes, that's an inside joke, one to which you are not privy. But basically, the closest, like there's a Roman flavor on the city-state and its holdings, the realm of Athene, and so Tiberius Octavius, being a Latin name, is a name that I would ordinarily use for Athene. But your character is clearly from Naustria because they play a didgeridoo. So there's a mystery bound up in there that might warrant exploring later.
Actually, you might have come to investigate the guild because you kept on hearing familiar words associated with the guild.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the head of the guild is from a...
Is that the case? I think she's from Marna.
Was she from Marna? I thought she was from a thing because she was like some sort of weird-ass rich bitch.
Weird-ass rich bitch.
She is a weird-ass rich bitch, that's true. Originally, she was from Athene in our first attempt to do this. But I was like, I don't know if that makes sense. So I just made her from Marna because she uses the title Lady. And they don't have nobility in Athene because it's obviously, being a Roman allegory, it's a republic, right? So they don't have ladies there.
I'll put my 2 into... and...
Into what?
God,
Very well. So we'll turn this into a 13, and that'll give you more hit points. You are now the man with the most hit points.
14 of them.
oh.
Yeah. You are the least killable character.
I forget how to do my dude.
How to do your what?
My fortitude and my reflexes and my will.
Does your race or background say you have a bonus to fortitude?
He has a bonus to will.
I have a bonus to will.
Okay, then that bonus to will you should put next to will. Other than that, ignore it.
In fact, I'll do that right now. So,
+1 to will.
yes. Now,
I need to make sure I remember that I have advantage in 3.
it is difficult to bear that in mind, but hopefully... Yeah, this is a full... Oh, I see why you did that. Never mind. Why was I... I'm babysitting in all the wrong ways. Okay, so for your fortitude, it is strength or constitution, whichever is higher. In your case, that's a 1. Reflex is dexterity or intelligence, whichever higher. Obviously, intelligence wins. And then will is wisdom or charisma, whichever is higher. That is a 2. So your fortitude is bad, and you should feel bad. Thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.